Good morning, students. Today I discuss the topic electromagnetic waves. The electromagnetic waves consist of oscillating electric and magnetic fields which are at right angles to each other and also at right angles to the direction of wave propagation. Thus, electromagnetic waves are transverse in nature. Unlike mechanical waves, the electromagnetic waves travel through vacuum with the speed of light c. They carry energy and momentum and hence exert pressure on striking a surface. Production of ultrasonic waves. The electromagnetic waves are generated by accelerating electric charge. For example, electrons moving from a higher energy level to a lower energy level in an atom radiate an electromagnetic waves, light waves of a particular wavelength. A radio station antenna emits the electromagnetic waves or radio waves due to the oscillating charges in the alternating current flowing in the antenna. Maxwell equations. There are four Maxwell field equations which may be written in the following form. Then this is divergence D is equal to del dot D equal to rho. This is differential form of Gauss law in electrostatics. Divergence B or del dot B equal to 0. This is differential form of the Gauss law in magnetostatics. Curl E del cross E equal to minus del B over del T, and this is differential form of electromagnetic induction, and this is known as Faraday law. And curl H equal to del cross H is equal to J plus del D over del D, and this is Maxwell modification of Ampere law, where D is electric displacement vector in Coulomb per meter square, rho is charge density in Coulomb per meter cube, B is magnetic induction in Weber per meter square, E is electric field intensity or strength in volt per meter or Newton per coulomb, H is magnetic field intensity in ampere per meter, and J is current density in ampere per meter square. Derivation of Maxwell equations. Let us consider, first equation is, let us consider a surface as bounded by a volume V in a dielectric medium. In a dielectric medium, total charge is due to free charge plus polarization charge if rho and rho p are the charge densities of free charge and polarization charge respectively at a point in a small volume element dv. Then Gauss law can be expressed as, then surface integral of E dot ds equal to 1 upon epsilon naught. This is volume integral of rho plus rho p into dv, where P is polarization vector, then polarization charge density rho P equal to minus divergence P. Therefore, we have surface integral epsilon naught E into ds equal volume integral of rho into dv minus volume integral of divergence P into dv. For Gauss divergence theorem, surface integral of epsilon naught E into ds equal to volume integral of divergence epsilon naught E into dv. Then volume integral of epsilon naught E into dv is equal to volume integral of rho into dv minus volume integral of divergence P into dv. Then volume integral of divergence epsilon naught E plus P dv is equal to volume integral of rho into dv, or volume integral of divergence d into dv equal to volume integral of rho into dv, where d is equal to epsilon naught E plus P and d is known as electric displacement vector. Then volume integral of divergence d minus rho into dv equal to 0. As volume is arbitrary, which means divergence d minus rho equal to 0 or divergence d equal to rho, divergence d or del dot d equal to rho. The first equation, the derivation of first equation in another form. For Gauss law of electrostatics, then surface integral of E dot ds equal to q upon epsilon naught, where charge density is equal to charge upon volume. Here charge density is rho, charge q and volume v. Then q equal to rho v and is equal to volume integral of rho into dv. Put the value in equation first q, then equation surface integral of E dot ds equal to 1 upon epsilon naught volume integral of rho into dv. For Gauss divergence theorem, then surface integral is converted into volume integral. Then surface integral of E dot ds equal to volume integral of divergence E into dv. Then volume integral of divergence E into dv equal to 1 upon epsilon naught volume integral of rho into dv, or volume integral of divergence epsilon naught E into dv is equal to volume integral of rho into dv for d equal to epsilon naught E, where d is electric displacement vector. Then volume integral of divergence d into dv equal to volume integral of rho into dv, or volume integral of divergence d minus rho equal into dv equal to 0 if the volume is arbitrary, which means divergence d minus rho equal to 0 or divergence d equal to rho. And this is Maxwell first relation. Second equations, the number of magnetic lines of force entering any arbitrary surface is exactly same as leaving it. It means the total flux of a magnetic induction B across any closed surface is 0. Then surface integral of B dot ds equal to 0. Using Gauss divergence theorem to change surface integral into line volume integral, we get surface integral of B dot ds equal to volume integral of divergence B into dv, or volume integral of divergence B equal into dv equal to 0 if the volume is arbitrary, which means divergence B equal to 0. This is del dot B. Third equation, according to Faraday law of electromagnetic induction, it is known that EMF induced in a closed loop is defined as the negative rate of magnetic flux, which means E equal to minus d phi over dt, but the magnetic flux phi is equal to surface integral of B dot ds, where S any closed surface having a loop as boundary, then E equal to minus d upon dt surface integral of B dot ds, or E is equal to minus surface integral of del B over del t into ds. But the EMF E can be calculated by the work done in carrying a unit charge around any closed loop C. Thus, if capital E is the electric field intensity at a small element dl of loop, we have E equal to line integral of E dot dl. Comparing equations second and third, we get line integral of E into dl equal to minus surface integral of del B over del t into ds. Using Stokes theorem to change the line integral into surface integral, we get line integral E dot dl equal to surface integral of curly E into ds. Then surface integral of curl E into ds is equal to minus surface integral of del B over del t into ds. Then surface integral curl E plus del B over del t into ds equal to 0 if the surface is arbitrary, which means curl E plus del B over del t equal to 0. Then curl E equal to minus del B over del t, or del cross E equal to minus del B over del t, and this is Maxwell's third relation. Fourth equation, from Ampere law in circuital form, this is line integral of B dot dl equal to mu naught I, where B upon mu naught into dl equal to I, and B upon mu naught, this is H, and this is magnetic field strength. Then line integral of H into dl equal to I, where surface integral J into ds is the current enclosed by path, and integral represent the integral over the closed path around surface S. Then line integral of H dot dl equal to surface integral J dot ds, but from Stokes theorem, line integral of H dot dl equal to surface integral of curl H into ds. Then surface integral of curl H into ds equal to surface integral of J into ds. Then surface integral curl H minus J into ds equal to 0. If the surface is arbitrary, we get curl H minus J equal to 0 or curl H equal to J. The equation fifth is invalid for time-varying fields since divergence of curl any vector is always 0. Then divergence curl H equal to divergence J, and this is divergence curl H equal to 0, and the equation divergence J equal to 0. But the equation 6 does not obey the continuity equations represent the conservation of n charge. The continuity equation is divergence J plus del rho over del T equal to 0. Divergence J equal to minus del rho over del T. Thus, we conclude that Ampere equation 6 is valid only for steady state conditions for which divergence J equal to 0 and is sufficient for time varying fields. Hence, Maxwell modified Ampere's law to include time varying fields by adding another current density term JD to G. Then curl H equal to J plus JD, taking divergence of both sides in equation 8th. Then divergence curl H equal to divergence J plus divergence JD. The curl of any divergence is 0. Then divergence 0 is equal to divergence J plus divergence JD. Then divergence JD equal to minus divergence J, and minus divergence J equal to del rho over del T. We know that divergence J plus del rho over del T equal to 0, and this is continuity equation. And divergence D equal to rho, this is first Maxwell equations. Put the value of divergence D equal to rho in these equations. Then divergence JD equal to del upon del T divergence D, or divergence del D over del T. Then JD equal to del D over del T. Put the value of JD in this equation 8th. Then equation is curl H equal to J plus del D over del T, or curl H equal to del cross H is equal to J plus del D over del T, and which is Maxwell fourth equation. Thank you.